This is member-supported Channel 2, the best television on television. The 10 o'clock news is closed captioned for our hearing-impaired viewers. We are grateful to Dunkin' Donuts and Bull Worldwide Information Systems for making this important service possible.
Tonight on the 10 o'clock news, the Billboard blight in Boston.
I'm very supportive of limiting the advertising on billboards and prohibiting the advertising of cigarette smoking.
Some say cigarette ads target the poor. Now lawmakers target the billboards for removal.
The 10 o'clock news is made possible by your contribution and by grants from Nimrod Press, printers and engravers. From New England Telephone, 30,000 people serving New England's communications needs for over 100 years. And from Shawmut, providers of financial services with over 170 locations throughout Massachusetts.
The anti-smoking crusaders have a new mission tonight. Their target is now Billboard Advertising, but there's plenty of opposition to their proposition. As Jan von Maren reports, if the anti-smokers have their druthers, cigarette billboards will be outlawed statewide.
The idea of banning cigarette advertising on billboards has been kicked around for nearly a decade. It's back again, and supporters say they're gaining ground. Senator Lois Pines is an old friend of the idea.
That all advertising has an impact, and certainly the cigarette industry feels that it has a very salutary impact as well, because they spend millions and millions of dollars on billboard advertising as well as in other advertising.
Supporters of the ban say billboard advertising is especially offensive because it's forced on people. You can't avoid it or turn it off.
Billboards are part of the overall climate that the industry is purchasing at the rate of over $2 billion a year in this country to try to saturate our environment to such a degree with the message that smoking is okay.
But opponents of the ban say that's not fair. The billboard companies, for instance, claim only 15% of their business comes from cigarette ads today. That's down from 40% a few years ago, and they want to be left alone.
We feel very strongly that an advertiser should have the opportunity to advertise in a marketplace, especially when it is a legally traded item.
This legislation is not only reducing the billboard industry, but it's placing members and friends of mine and their families on the unemployment line.
About 3,000 billboard painters work in this state, and when they climb up to go to work, they're putting up cigarette ads about 15% of the time. The billboard painters say that a ban on tobacco ads will mean lost jobs, and they promise to fight such a move tooth and nail. The tobacco industry opposes the billboard ban, but their strategy on this issue seems restrained. They're content to let the outdoor advertisers and the labor unions wage this battle.
Simply because there's a package of cigarettes on a billboard does not mean that somebody's going to begin to smoke.
But Senator Pines worries that the tobacco industry targets poor neighborhoods with their billboard ads. She says surely the billboard companies can find new business to replace the cigarette advertising.
If cigarette advertising is prohibited, other companies will come forward, I believe, and advertise their products on those billboards.
Placing categories is always easier said than done.
Supporters of the ban are not particularly optimistic that it will pass this year, but they intend to keep plugging away in hopes that if not this year, perhaps next. For the 10 o'clock news, I'm Jan von Maren.